Hello guys, can you guys hear me? Okay, great, seems to work well. Well, thank you very much first of all for your interest to watch this video really. That you are interested to hear more about our story of how we built a team in our network marketing business starting from just 3 people to 700 people within the year. My name is Zihao and today I'll be really glad to share with you some tips and reflections that we as a group have learned over the past 1 year in growing our network marketing business. Now I'm going to minimize myself so that I can show you the slides for this presentation. This presentation is basically split into 3 mini video parts so that it won't be too overwhelming to you. Feel free to take a short break in between the mini videos, and the whole 3 video series will take approximately 1 hour to complete. So please be sure to clear off any distractions during this 1 hour period. Just turn off your Facebook, mute the notifications, and take a pen and notebook with you because some of the tips I'm going to share with you today may actually benefit your business even if you are already into network marketing, or even if you are just a newbie who is curious about starting your own network marketing business. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so my name is Zihao and I come from Singapore. Many people who are not in the region always thought that, I come from China. The answer is nope. Even though I'm ethnically Chinese, I'm actually born in Malaysia and I spend most of my time here in Singapore, which is actually a tiny tropical country located in Southeast Asia here, just beside Malaysia. And if you're curious to find out how Singapore actually look like, you can actually go and search and watch the movie called Crazy Rich Asians, and you will see some of our beautiful landscape and gardens in the movie. Okay, before I go on into the details of how we built our business, let me just share with you our story and how we actually got started with network marketing. For me, I've always been fascinated by science, and since young, I have always been curious to find out how things work. After going through university, I decided to become a scientist to do research for the rest of my life since I'm passionate about it. In fact, I've actually co-authored 2 research articles during my bachelor degree in Singapore and was really fully prepared to take a PhD in life sciences once I graduate from university. Before I embarked on PhD, I decided to become a research assistant first after I graduated so that I can choose what research topic that I will do in future for my PhD. However, after 1 year or so, I realized that research is not an ideal path that I envision myself to go for the rest of my life. As much as I like to do research, it is fundamentally a very unstable job because your job is always on contract, meaning you may lose your job anytime. While researchers work very hard and are usually very passionate about their work, unfortunately, their funding may get discontinued if the school or the government decides to change its research direction. Such unpredictability is perfectly illustrated in these graphics. And this really makes me think twice about my future career path as a researcher. So what really triggered me to venture out of my comfort zone is actually my family. My family has always been struggling with money, even though we are well-to-do and we can survive. But I think if we have more money, our lives would have been better. So for me, it is simply too risky to rely myself on such an unstable job when I know that research career itself is very unpredictable. So I thought to myself that I need to find additional streams of income in order to hedge myself against future uncertainties. I need to ensure that while, yes, I can still work in the research area, I should never feed myself and my family based on the sole income from research. And my such sentiments were actually shared by my 2 other friends, Li Mei and Jin Jie as shown in this picture, who are also both researchers but in the chemistry space. So all 3 of us, who are also introverts by the way, decided to venture out and find additional source of incomes while we are working full-time in our job. We have actually listed a few criteria that we are looking for. And first of all, we want something that has a low capital to start. It should match our current lifestyle. It can generate passive income so that we don't have to work for it all the time. And most importantly, it can lead to financial freedom, meaning our passive income is able to exceed our monthly expenses. And in Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Business of the 21st Century, he mentions that there's actually 4 ways of generating income in our lives, which is represented in this ESBI quadrant. E represents employee, which is 95% of our workforce. We work for somebody and we get an income from our effort. S represents self-employed people. Usually people who are tired of 9-to-5 job and are generally unhappy about their current job,
they may choose to migrate from the E quadrant to the S quadrant so that they can set up their own business and be their own boss. While this may sound exciting or closer to freedom, this can actually backfire easily because being a boss means that you have even lesser free time for yourself, because taking a day off means no income for you, and you can't blame your boss for all your problems because you are the boss yourself. So in the previous two quadrants, in the E and the S quadrants, you basically have to work hard in order to get money. In the next two quadrants, which is the I and the B quadrants, things started to change because now money works for you instead. I quadrant here represents the investors. With the right education and sufficient capital, everyone can learn investing and be investors in the real estates, in the stocks, etc., etc. But investing itself takes time to master and learn. More importantly, I feel you need to be emotionless while trading and really leave aside a sufficient capital that you are prepared to lose in order to get your investment returns eventually. Soon you'll also start to see your money comes back and you get paid without your presence, meaning money generates money, but usually this will take some time for you to see the results. The last quadrant is the B quadrant. This represents the business owners. Unlike the self-employed people who still works for the company, B quadrant is all about the company and system working for you. And this is where network marketing actually falls in. So long story cut short, after studying different industry, we decided to embark on a network marketing business. And like many before us, we often thought that network marketing or MLM is a pyramid scheme and it's also a scam. In fact, we used to hate MLM in the past because of some bad experience we had from our friends. But in the end, we decided to open our heart and do more research about it, since we are researchers ourselves. And we realized that not all the MLMs are pyramid scheme. There are generally 4 rules you can follow to see if the MLM you are doing it's a pyramid scheme. And here there are. The first rule says that if you promote the products even if you are not paid for it, meaning if you are just a pure user, then it is not a pyramid scheme. Second rule dictates that if you're end user and you get benefits from the products used, then it is also not a pyramid. Third rule says that if you have more than 50% of your volume comes from the customers, that means your downlines, instead of business leaders in your network marketing company, then it is not a pyramid scheme. The last rule says that if you are actually receiving something when you pay to join or monthly, then chances are it is not a pyramid. So next time, if someone accuses that your MLM is a pyramid scheme, you can just send them this picture designed by Eric Worre, one of the superstar coach in network marketing that I admire a lot. He joked that, in fact, our corporate structure is also a pyramid scheme as well. In fact, many of the well-known people in the world, for instance, Robert Kiyosaki, the famous author of The Rich Dad Poor Dad, said in his book that network marketing business, if done right, can lead to massive wealth, and therefore it is a wealth asset rather than a liability. I like his particular quote that says that network marketing gives people the opportunity with low risk and low financial commitment to build an income generating asset. This is exactly what we are looking for, because really you don't really need a lot of capital to start in a typical network marketing business. And I also certainly agree with Tony Robbins, who said that network marketing enables us to leverage on our people's network, and we actually don't have to worry about the accounting, the supply chain, etc., etc., which are the typical problems faced by the self-employed boss in the S quadrant as mentioned earlier. You can actually multiply your efforts through other people. And with that in mind, after our research, we decided to go all in with a network marketing business we have chosen, and we are glad to say that we have successfully built a team of 700 people from just 3 people after a year of hard work and sweat. In fact, the secret to our success lies in the rinse and repeat of a duplicable system, which involves both the conventional ways such as prospecting, meeting people, etc., as well as a social media way such as Facebook marketing, online personal branding as seen here. And I believe the contribution of both approaches helped us to generate massive results in the past 1 year, and also a strong team with increasing organization volume over the past few months. We are of course very happy to share with you some of our strategies and tips we learned while building our team later on in the video series. Okay, so this actually concludes the first part of the video series, where I have shown you our story, our research process, and also why network marketing is a great tool to build our passive income source. In part 2 of this series, we will share with you some of the criteria that we select our network marketing company when we just started 1 year ago, and how we actually use this criteria and land ourselves in Young Living. It's one of the network marketing companies started from the United States 25 years ago. If you are ready to watch the next video, click on the button below and I will see you again in the next video. See you!